Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Thank you for joining us on episode 105 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom. I'm here with Trevor and Damon. How's it going, guys?
Hey.
Hey.
Having a good morning. How about you?
Having an excellent morning. Trevor sent us some baked goods all the way from Canada, and I might have had snuck a cookie for breakfast, but
I did not do that just yet.
It's Christmas time. You're allowed, and again, because it's gifted baking. The rules don't apply.
I'm so trying to lose like another 5 pounds though. Like it's been very difficult over the holidays, but I'm in for the long haul, man.
I'm sorry, Damon, but we have to send it.
This is like the worst time to try to lose weight, though. Like,
I guess so. You know what? It's funny because I kind of take this very like Disney. Like I realized that on my Disney trips, and I would always try to lose a couple pounds before going to Disney. So I'm 5'11", 185 is where I'd like to be, and usually Disney puts on, I don't know, usually 4 pounds. Like, so not cruises, that's a different ball game, but just going to Disney maybe puts on 4 pounds, right? Because you kind of off-weigh that with the walking. Yeah. So what I usually try to do is kind of keep myself closer to that weight before going to Disney, and then but the thing is that I've realized is, I really only need one bite of stuff. And now that my kids are getting older, it's a lot easier to do that. Even like at home, I've been like, wow, all right, well, I'm just going to take a bite of that, and then another kid will eat it. Like somebody in the house will eat it. And it's the same thing at Disney. Like if I go, oh, I want, let's say a Mickey bar. I just take a bite. I'm good. So I'm going to try to start doing that when I go to Disney as well. Maybe I have to sneak 2 bites of some really good stuff, but I'm going to try to limit it a bit. I think as you get older, you realize, man, you can't be packing on those Disney pounds all the time.
So I was going to say, I guess the trick is you have to convince your kids to like the things that you want to try.
and where that backfires is when you're home and you're like, man, I wish there was, some so-and-so left. Nope. One of the things you wouldn't even think of, so unfiltered apple juice, apple cider, both of those things I like, right? Super high in sugar, but let's leave that alone for the time being. It can't stay in this house. Like if I want any of it, so we opened it up. I had maybe a quarter of a glass and was like, oh, this is great. And then a day later I come down and it's gone. It's over. So that's the downside of kids liking the stuff you like as well.
Yeah.
It's gone.
You're right. I guess that's true. Is they won't stop and think about, maybe dad wants.
Oh, no, that's not high on their priority list, especially when it's 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. We're getting there. My son's hitting teenage years. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
This is why you like Food and Wine though, and the holiday festival, right? Because they're small portions. You can.
I do like that, but I just need to kind of bring that over to my regular Disney experience in general. Yeah, to kind of keep it a little bit better off for me after coming back.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's cruises are especially tough though, because
cruises are tough. I just let it go on a cruise. So cruises, I usually figure. I think the last cruise I started at 185. I think I came home 193. Jeez. I want to say, yeah. And then I had to kind of figure out how to get that weight off was tough. I'm a faster though. I've grown to love intermittent fasting now.
Oh, okay.
So that's been super helpful in terms of kind of, re-regulating after a Disney trip. So Disney trip, all bets are off. And then when I come back, I try to get back to that fasting as quickly as possible. It is a little difficult. Your body fights you when you get back, but, I've tried 16-8. Now I think I find that I like to be a little bit more around 24, sometimes even 22-2, but 24 seems to work for me pretty well. But again, 16-8 is still okay also.
Can you explain what you mean
sure.
by that?
So that's not eating in that order. So 20 hours not eating, 4 hours eating. stuff like that. And I can get, yesterday I did a 24, right? And that was easy. Actually, it was probably more like a 22.2, but I kind of consider that a 24, and it was fine, right? No problems. But again, on a day that it's like, bad. So like today I had French toast. So I'm probably more in a 6-hour window now. So I just won't eat later. So that helps me. I don't know, because I don't like giving up food. So that's something that allows you to kind of eat whatever you want. Like in those 4 hours, I eat whatever I want. Like I don't care, because it just doesn't matter, right? You're not getting enough of it to be a problem, per se.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway, that's what works
some,
for me, man.
Yeah, I know some people that do that, so.
Sorry, all I took from that is I want French toast now.
That sounds good. That does sound good.
That's a good take from that, though. That's a good take.
No offense to the cookie I had for breakfast, but I actually had a Jersey breakfast this morning, Damon. I had
so what is that? Taylor ham, egg and cheese.
Yeah, and a bagel. Yeah,
bagels are tough down here. I found one place that's good, but
I would venture to guess this is one of those things that most of the people in the country don't know about. Just Taylor ham / pork roll, whatever you call it. That's a very New Jersey, New York thing.
It is.
Sorry,
what is it?
Yeah, what is Taylor ham?
It's like a better Canadian bacon.
Yeah.
Okay, like a thick ham slice.
Kinda, but it's not really
but
ham.
More processed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like all the extra pig parts that they just kind of crushed
with
into
a lot
thing.
of nitrates and
like
salt
Spam.
And,
kind
yeah.
But no.
But different. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to describe.
Oh no, I'm
really.
Yeah, no, I'm
you know
sure
what
it's different. I'm trying to get close.
Honestly, what it is, it's probably what I would consider a saltier Canadian bacon.
Yeah, that's good.
It's kind of like where your taste is at.
Like more cured.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And more spiced, I would say too.
Yeah, I give you that. It's definitely a unique taste, and again, a New Jersey thing is to have ketchup on it. I usually don't. Yeah, but sometimes it can definitely be something good. But
yeah, I've got a New York deli, like a straight up real New York deli right down the street from me that makes their own bagels that are legit and has pork roll there. And we're speaking literally only two people in New Jersey right now.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So if you're ever in New Jersey, make sure you try pork roll.
I wish we had a better skew of our listeners, just so everyone's aware. Like all we get is U.S., so we just get country-based statistics.
Yeah,
I would love to be at that next level of statistics.
I'll take people a little bit behind the curtain, and I didn't even tell you guys this, but our biggest areas of growth this year were actually Canada and the UK. So,
fantastic!
We added more listeners
Canada.
in Canada and the UK than any other country this year. So,
very cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And I'm not even standing on the corner shouting at everybody to listen to the podcast anymore. So, yeah.
I have noticed in the group a lot more people are mentioning they're from Canada, and that's I've noticed that too. And then also we have I've talked to quite a few folks from England and some other countries too. I mean we've got a lot of different countries that are listening in, which is constantly a weird thing that I think about.
I love it. I'm super excited that we're reaching that far.
Me too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Why don't we get into some listener questions?
Yeah, this first one I added only because I saw Jeremy was feeling a little downtrodden that we hadn't picked his questions, I think 3 episodes in a row.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But this is a tough question because I might get in trouble. This might be the I get in trouble question for being mean to Tom.
I find it funny because it's specifically directed at Tom, but Damon's worried he's going to get in trouble.
Well, the funny thing is,
I'm obviously going to make fun of Tom no matter how he answers this question. So.
Well, why do you think I left it off in the first place? I went back and dug this question up just for Jeremy's sake.
Okay.
Because we love Jeremy. Jeremy's been a long-time listener. He's always contributed to the show, and I don't want you to feel bad, Jeremy. Just because we always have a Dan question or two in there doesn't mean that your questions aren't good.
But I don't
Jeremy.
think Dan even knows if we like him or not.
That's true.
And we're just going to leave it like that.
Yeah.
So Jeremy wants to know if I will try Tron. The answer is a maybe skewing to no, but we'll see. That's what I'll say.
That blows my mind because
I don't like to say no's to stuff. I like to see what it's like first. But I think I said this in the group though. My big thing is with roller coasters is big drops. I get very sick with that stomach dropping feeling. Like that's where I have a problem, which is why I don't have a problem with things like Big Thunder or Seven Dwarfs, because you don't really have that on those.
Wait, you don't do Everest, right?
No, because that's got a much bigger drop in the front there. So
that's a big drop, yeah.
Everest makes me dizzy sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
It does pull some pretty high G's on those.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and I think that's that one. You know, I always rely on my wife for these things because my wife will go on something and she has a good estimation.
She has a good Tom meter.
Yeah, she does. She'll come off of something and be like, "No, you wouldn't like that." Or she'll come off and be like, "No, you should do that. You'd be fine." So she knows. You know,
I do the same thing for my wife. Is me and my son will go on a ride and I'll get off and I'll be like, "Yeah, you could do that," or "No, skip. Don't bother." Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to say no to it because I don't really know what it's going to be like. Because, like I told you guys, speed doesn't bother me. I mean, I'll go on test track. It goes 65 miles per hour. That doesn't bother me. But it's just the steep drops and that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I just don't know. I mean, I'm assuming the answer is going to be no. But
yeah, I'm gonna go to a no too. I have this feeling. I'm gonna skew
for me
Tom's
or
no.
for you.
For you. Oh, for you. No,
yeah, I was gonna say you're going.
Yeah,
there, right?
Yeah, me and Damon are first in line.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I've been getting excited looking at the construction pictures though, of them putting up the canopy thing, the lit canopy. It looks very cool. I'll just want to stand on it.
Tom will have a lot of pictures of it.
What's that?
Yeah, you'll have a lot of pictures of it.
What do you mean?
You have pictures of you standing in front of Tron.
You'll take pictures of you standing under the...
Oh, yeah. I'll take some cool night pictures. I feel like you just wanted to say pictures a bunch of times.
Oh, I forgot. And it's funny. We just talked about this. So we had a 30-minute pregame show. And we talked about pictures. Yes, I have
the funny way that David says pictures.
I mean, I don't necessarily think it's funny. I mean, I can say pictures, though. And like I said, you can dub that in every time I say pictures. And there we go. Now we should be fine.
Yeah.
I think you should over enunciate it every time now.
Well, the thing is,
pictures.
It's interesting because, as I said in the group, I could definitely change the way I say it. It's that's not something that would be all that hard to do, but I have no real interest in doing it because, again, it's a dialect thing. It just is what it is in terms of different parts of the country. And while it may be wrong, is it really wrong though? It's just different.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like I said in the pregame as well, is that, I hear people from all over the world with different accents all the time. So, you say it the way you want to say it. I know what you meant.
Yeah, you didn't think I was talking about a baseball pitcher or a pitcher on the table pouring water.
Yeah, I thought you just really liked beer and you were just all excited about your pitchers.
Yes, exactly.
I never noticed it, to be honest, and maybe it's just because Damon and I are from the same place. But...
Yeah, well, you might not say it that way, Tom, because you're probably around so many New Jersey people that say it the way I do. You're right. It probably doesn't sound all that odd to you.
Well, I also, I tend to believe that I don't have much of an accent and much of certain ways that I say things, but there are things occasionally that come out that are very Jersey. But for the most part, I feel like there's not.
Oh, I think I'm definitely... have a Jersey accent, so that doesn't surprise me.
Well, you're from North Jersey. I'm a little further south, so
yeah, not really real Jersey. I understand.
What does that even mean?
North Jersey is the only real Jersey. I'm sorry to tell everybody.
I'm right in the middle, so
there is no such thing as Central Jersey. That's
not
problem.
true. I lived in Central Jersey.
You definitely do not, because it doesn't exist. Only people from Central Jersey think Central Jersey exists. Everyone else does not think Central Jersey exists.
This is going to be funny again to just the people from New York, New Jersey,
because this is a big deal. Yeah.
This is an actual argument that takes place in New Jersey. That's a real thing.
Oh, 100%.
Of whether Central Jersey exists or not.
It doesn't. So sorry.
So on the Canadian side, I'll equate this to so particularly in Alberta, there is Calgary and Edmonton, and there is always discussion about which city is better. And I feel this is on the same level as both cities argue back and forth, but Calgary's clearly better. Sorry, Edmonton, you know that.
But what happened?
You don't have an... Wait, has Edmonton ever had an Olympics? No, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, see? There you go.
Yeah, there's that. But.
You went on that one. Yeah, well, because the funny thing is, if you're in North Jersey, you kind of identify as New York City. If you're South Jersey, you kind of identify towards Philly. It's kind of like how it goes. And I like I said, I'm right in the middle, basically. So that it's been an argument forever, though. So I'm sure our New Jersey audience enjoyed this, but
Yeah, and this was a weird rabbit hole we went down from Tron.
It really is.
It is. All right, so the next one I think I'm on board with. So Dan asked, what advice can we give my sister-in-law about her son not liking rides when they go to Disney World with us? We tried to tell her that there's a lot of different rides and nothing is too intense. She says he doesn't like rides and will probably just wind up going to the pool after a short time in the parks. He is 10. Thanks. You know, I have this rule, and we haven't gone through all of them yet. So you have to ride something once. That's it. Just once. Like, you ride it once, and after you ride it once, if you don't like it, you never, ever have to ride it again. And the story goes, as my boys ride everything, so that's not it. It's my daughter, who's now, she's still 10. Yeah, she's still 10. She'll be 11 in a couple months, but so she doesn't love rides either. And we forced her to go on, right? Hey, here's your one shot. Now look, I also don't send her on crazy rides. So she did not go on Time Traveler when we went. I tried to get her on it, but at the last minute she pulled out. But most of the time, like, I don't make her go on crazy stuff. I just make her go on things that she might not necessarily want to go on, like Fire Chaser and Dollywood. Or the big one was at Disney's Rock and Roller Coaster. So she didn't want to go. She didn't want to go. And it's kind of funny now because I remember being online holding her, and this must have been, this was not last time. So she would have been, let's see, she would have been 10 this year. It was probably when she was 8 or 9. I don't remember actually, but I remember holding her online and she was just crying on Roller Coaster Line. And I'm just like, just have to try it once. And then she got off and she loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So now she wants to go on Rock and Roller Coaster every time. And that's kind of the onus for saying, hey, look, ride it once. If you hate it, then don't ride it again. And, Tower of Terror is one she does not want to ride. But same rule, ride it once. And we kind of pushed that one off a little bit. Now, that being said, when Dueling Dragons was at Universal, I don't even know what's there that's crazy. Oh, the crazy roller coaster that's there, the one that's got the rock music playing in the background. I forget the name of that one, but like, I wouldn't make her ride that. But I think that there's rides that you kind of have to be like, yo, try this out. And if you don't like it, then don't ever ride it again, ever. And there's a few rides that we've gotten. Yeah, I think I don't want to ride that again. Okay, that's fine. But she loves Rock and Roller Coaster, and how would she ever have known?
Well, wasn't she on the last episode and she said that?
Yeah.
That was her favorite, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that never would have happened if we didn't carry her through the line crying. And again, like, she was literally crying up until we got into the seat. So, I don't know. That's the way I feel. That's just me.
And you're right, Damon. The thing is that, your own kids best. And you also know, like, the hard part is yes, sometimes you do have to push them outside of their comfort zone to get them to try something. But then also it's, if your kid's going to react a certain way and you don't want to ruin the trip, it's a hard balance thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll use the example. So my son, Tower of Terror, the first time he did it, he was 6. And then after he did it, we went back on and did it like 4 more times right afterwards. So he, like, from day one, he was like all in on the crazy rides. But we have family friends and they have a son that's the same age as my son, and they took him to Disney. And, so they have a son and a daughter. The daughter was like my son, all in. She wanted to do everything. She loved it. The son was a lot more, he was the one that was holding back. He was the one that declined not to go on rides. And they, similarly, they tried it with him. They tried to get him on a couple of roller coasters, and he just kind of, he decided that he wasn't doing the roller coasters. And so after they got him on one, and then after that, they backed off. They were like, you know what? This isn't worth ruining the trip. He had other rides that he went on, but they kind of figured out where his limit was. And the thing to keep in mind too is, Dan says, he's 10 years old. Kids change a lot, just because at 10 years old, he's not having it. You may take him back when he's 12. And it could be a totally different story. Like, you have to kind of let them go. Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. So I have a friend,
you're right. It could.
I have a friend that's my age that won't go on rides, and that's fine. I think that it's definitely an expectation setting. Like, you have to start small, and like, Trevor said, find out where that limit is, and then maybe try to push them over the line a teeny bit, but not too far where, you're going to end up. Like I said, I don't think I would take my daughter on oh gosh, like Sidewinder actually she liked. And that's funny, like she liked Sidewinder at Dollywood, but like there's rides I wouldn't take her on. Again, the crazy roller coaster or like Apollo's Chariot at Busch Gardens, like I wouldn't do that to her because I know, right? Like I know that that's not something she would like. So, but you know, that's the way we kind of roll. And they end up liking stuff. And if they don't, then you'll know. I mean, for me, so if I was to start with one ride, right, doesn't like rides at all, I mean, what would be the ride you'd start them with if they don't like rides at all? I'm going to say probably Peter Pan. Like, I think Peter Pan's a good one because I think Winnie the Pooh is a little, like, it can be a little scary, right? Sure. And it's also a little bit more uppy down. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's like
Peter
bouncing
Pan's
that happens and yeah.
But I mean, are you talking about no rides? Like,
I don't know.
Like you're talking about not going on It's a Small World?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think like Peter Pan, Small World, like you could do, Little Mermaid, right? I mean, Little Mermaid is good.
I mean, that gets a little scary. So, it depends also what you're saying here. Like, my daughter was scared of a few things in terms of characters rather than the actual ride itself.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing is, from your
Darn
lens
it, Snow
too.
White, where are you? That was the best.
Yeah, yeah. From our lens
many
too.
kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that as adults, we'll get on like, oh, that was cool, but then it sticks in kids' mind. And actually, I'm remembering now when we took our son to Disneyland, the first time I took him on the Matterhorn. We went on it, and after we got off, he was like, I'm not doing that again. And we didn't do it again for 2 years because it wasn't the ride that freaked him out. It was the Yeti. And,
interesting.
And again, to me, I was like, isn't, the Yeti's cool. I love the Yeti. And he was just like, nope, not having it. And again, it makes sense because, the Yeti is kind of scary. And it's the same thing even with dark rides is I guess, you have to kind of get inside your kid's head and understand where, what is actually sticking with them and what is, what they're holding on to. And also, I think, it's probably the same kind of conversations with your daughter that you've had, Damon, is that, you kind of have to go to it from a point of, hey, I'm your parent. Trust me. I'm not going to put you on something that, is going to ruin you.
I know my daughter's not going to like Tower of Terror, but we'll get on it once and be done. It was funny. I just had to rewatch Snow White's Scary Adventure at Walt Disney World, and I was like, man, that is scary. Like,
you need to go to Disneyland, man.
I mean, is it pretty much the same ride?
It is. It's the same ride. It's still there.
Yeah. I mean, I just remember it being scary. I had to watch it again because I kind of forgot, and I was like, yeah, that is scary. You're right.
Yeah, although they have tweaked the ending, so it's not. It doesn't like. I think they changed it so it doesn't abruptly go from like the queen crushing the dwarves to they lived happily ever after. So
there's a special thing in there now.
I think they've or I don't know if they added something in between or if I don't know exactly what they did because I haven't been back to see it, but supposedly they kind of made that from the climax to the ending gel a little bit better so that the ride isn't as confusing. But all the scariness of the ride is still there though.
I'm gonna go and look at the one on Disneyland now.
Yeah. But, I just to wrap this up, because we've been talking about this for a while, but I feel like this is the perfect place for this kid to go right now, though, right? Because there's so many things at Disney World that are not, that are simple rides, like those Omni Mover type rides. But then there's also like little shows and interactive things. Like it's not all about rides. There's other things that they can do too. So yeah. I just think that they'll find that there's a lot of other things that they can do that don't have to be, a ride of some sort. But I think you guys are right. You have to find out what is the thing that they're scared of, and then because if it's like the speed of a ride, then maybe you can just do a bunch of those Omni Mover rides. Those things that aren't fast and not really for the adventurous. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. So
wait, Trevor, this is an interesting discussion now, though. So now I just watched the Disneyland one.
Yeah,
there's not even the ending is just a book. Like it's not of Snow White and Prince, whatever his name is.
Is that so? What was that recording? Is that like
2019?
Oh, really?
So I don't see the whole. So I see like someone that goes to both is going to have to let us know. But it definitely seems totally different at the end from what the Walt Disney World ride one was.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, yeah, I guess to be fair, I assumed that they were mirrored for a long time, but yeah, I guess
doesn't look like it.
The Disney World one may have had a different ending.
Yeah, it looks actually the ride looks a little different in general.
And that's so the thing is the Disneyland one is the original one. Like it was the first one built like back in the 50s.
Yeah, it definitely looks different. Oh, cool.
We'll have to do more research on that one.
Yeah. All right, let's we should probably get
Damon, there's a video from Yesterworld called "The Evolution of Snow White's Scary," or it says Snow White's Terrifying Adventures. So, and it shows all the different versions of it. So maybe that's the way to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
all right,
because you made me look up the video too.
All right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, let's move on here. So Glenn has a multi-part question for us. Say how long was your shortest and longest trip to Disney property, and what is your average? Do you go to every park with every trip if possible? So I guess let's break this down. So for me, shortest trip would have been 4 days to Disneyland. But that was actually part of a larger trip where we stopped in Disneyland, went to SeaWorld in San Diego, and then went to Las Vegas. My longest trip was 2 weeks, which was my honeymoon in Disney World.
Nice.
And the average is 1 week for me. And then for us, yeah, we do hit every single park when we go to Disney World. Right now, that's a requirement.
We do typically, so my shortest trip was probably 4 days like yours, but I think every trip we typically do 8 days, 7 nights. That's our typical trip. 8 days gives us 2 days in each park, basically. So that's typically what we do is 8 days, 7 nights, almost always.
Okay.
Wait,
what about you, Damon?
Is it to me now?
Yeah, it's to you. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Shortest, I think I've been there 2 days. No, a day. I've been there a day. I went a day. It was
for 1 day.
Well, see, here's the question though. Does it count if I go to Disney Springs? I feel like it does.
I feel like I'll allow that.
Okay. If you allow that, I'll say a day.
They said Disney property, so yeah,
they did.
Counts.
That's true. Yeah.
I think if they don't say if that doesn't count, then I'd probably think it's 2 days. I think maybe 2 days. Maybe I don't know. Maybe 2 days. The longest. Gosh, I don't think we had a super long Disney trip. Maybe 8 days. I'll say 8. It depends. So normally my average is probably 5 or 6, maybe. Yeah, not a full week usually.
I remember like distinctly, it was 1999 I went on a trip, and I remember my parents were checking out of Wilderness Lodge, and as we were checking out, the front desk was like, if for like another $200 you can stay for another 3 days. Like right now, if you want to do it. It wasn't even like a bounce back offer. It was like literally an offer they just gave them right there. And they were like, pay this much more and you can stay for 3 more days. And I don't even remember if that included tickets or whatever, but they did it. And then we just stayed a couple more days. I don't know what the total trip was. Honestly, I don't remember, to be totally honest, how long it was, but I just remember that all of a sudden my parents were like, oh, we're staying. And I'm like, what do you mean we're staying? Like, wow. I thought we were just going to leave. Like, yeah, I don't know how we were able to pull that off. It must have been summertime and we weren't in school or whatever. I don't know. But
yeah, I was going to say, I couldn't imagine calling up my job and being like, so I'm not coming back for another week.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. Like maybe we were leaving on a Friday or something, and like so we still had the weekend. I don't remember. I should ask my mom, and she'll probably remember some of it. But it was the weirdest thing. Like literally we were leaving, and then they were like, you can stay a couple more days if you pay this amount of money. And we went back to the same room and everything. It was really weird. But anyway, I just remembered that right now. But I don't know how long that total trip was. I just remember it was 1999.
All right. Do you want to read Jeremy's question?
This is the other Jeremy, by the way. So
the other Jeremy.
This is not Crotch Jeremy. Yeah. If given the chance, where would you put an in-park DVC property? My pick would be, I don't even want to say that. Chateau
Frontenac.
All right, thank you. In the Canada Pavilion, a perfect place to stay for a foodie.
I feel like we've answered this before.
I feel like we have too.
Mine is Epcot. Yeah. I mean, it's just you're telling me like just specifically where in Epcot. Gate. Mine is at the front gate, man.
You're talking front gate, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'd want to be in the park. Because think about it. Now you got to get out of your hotel to another park, and I'm already in a park. Like, how would that even work? Do I have to check into Epcot? Do I have to use, like, you know, again, things are different now. So would I have to use like a half a day at Epcot every single day? Right? Like if I'm in the park already.
You need a park hopper, just to go.
But even park hopping, you can only go at 2:00 now. I mean, that's just now, but in general, yeah, I don't have an interest in that. So front of Epcot.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think it would be kind of cool to have like a hotel like somehow in like Frontierland or somewhere like that. I think that would be kind
where
of cool.
It exits it from the back or something.
Yeah, from like the back. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Maybe actually like expanding on like Tower of Terror, like actually doing like the Hollywood Tower Hotel. I think, you know, just having like it would be neat because, you know, the ride is like the old like rundown hotel, and then having like the actual hotel is like the upkept version of it. So like going back in time to when it was a functioning hotel. That would be fun.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
I think we answered that one.
Yeah. All right. We got a couple of quick ones here, I think. So yeah, these shouldn't take too long. Let's, so Dan says, do you put candy canes on your Christmas trees? If so, what is your house policy around eating them? We used to, and it used to be you were allowed one a day. We haven't in the last couple of years just because we forgot, honestly.
We do forget some years too. I'm not going to lie. Like there's just definitely some years we forget. Now it's even harder to get them, but I think we're shooting for this year to have candy canes. And I think they used to get taken off mostly when like people were going somewhere to drive. Like you'd be on your way to drive somewhere and you'd be like, oh man, like I don't have any mint or gum. Let me grab a candy cane. Like that would happen for a long time. But here's the other question after Tom answers this candy cane question. Fake tree or real tree? We went to a fake tree last year, and I have to say, I'm quite happy about it.
We've had a fake tree for like 15 years.
Yeah,
I'm quite
growing
happy.
up, we always had a real tree, but then
too.
my mom switched to fake tree, and I have a fake tree, so.
I like it a lot because you can put it up whenever you want.
Yep.
I mean, ours is nice. Like, I got mine on stupid sale.
It's way less messy.
Yeah, cleaning up is way easier because you don't
You don't have to constantly water it.
And spill the water, which always happens. And,
and step on pine needles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Total
we got a little ceramic Christmas tree that you put the pine oil in to at least make it smell.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's actually pretty cool looking. I think Amazon. I think I got it on Amazon. It looks like a little Christmas tree. And again, the nice part about it is that every year you continue to use it. You put more oil in it, and then it smells even more like it eventually is going to not need any oil at all, I feel like.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I have you seen the ones that's the Christmas tree that you can get that like snows?
Wait, snow on it like it's flocked? Or
no, like it like literally like shoots snow out of the top of it, and it has like a.
That brings you back to the mess factor.
Well, yes, but it has like an umbrella on the bottom that like catches it. It looks really awkward, honestly. I would never.
Yeah. It's like those foam balls, right?
Yeah, it's like little foam balls, and it has like an umbrella on the bottom that captures it, and it somehow brings the snow.
I'm looking at it now.
Yeah,
that screams at my. I have a bit of OCD about like glitter and crap.
Oh, I hate glitter. I hate it. I hate it.
That's on the same levels. It would just get everywhere, and I would just be miserable.
Well, and it's funny because like I got a present for one of my kids, and it's a lady and her husband. He does graffiti stuff. It's called Unlimited Airbrush. So you can find them on Facebook, and actually they're in California, so they could definitely use the help. It's called Unlimited Airbrush. And she also does cups, like the epoxy glitter cups. Mm-hmm. So it was funny because when I got the shirts from her, I opened the bag and like glitter poured out everywhere. And I was like, You must have this all over your house. I said, it actually brought a smile to my face because I found it quite funny. I was like, wow, okay, glitter. So they're funny. Her husband is amazing with like graffiti airbrush stuff. Oh my goodness, ridiculous. So
my wife knows not to get me cards with glitter on them because I won't even touch a glitter card. Like I won't.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
We have. I'm looking at this tree though. I'm sorry, Tom.
The snowing tree. Yeah, the snowing tree. Yeah.
It's small though. It's not big.
Yeah.
Trevor, you could be okay. Like it's not that big. It looks like it's self-contained.
Okay, well, until the little bits, end up on the counter, or yeah.
We have like a little Disney Christmas village, and one of them, the roof is covered in glitter, and I took it out of the box this year, and I forgot that it was covered in glitter, and when after I put it down in its spot, I looked at my hands and I was like, ah, I'm covered in glitter.
We actually have a Mickey or a wreath that we put on our front door, and it's got lights, and it looks like Mickey Mouse ears, but all the leaves on it are covered in glitter. And my wife will attest to this, is that I take the thing out of the box, and she always comments on how disgusted I look as I'm assembling the thing, because, I'm getting glitter on my hands. And then, when I finally get the thing hung up, it's like, I go and I wash my hands and just vacuum and everything, because I just can't stand it.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Yeah. All right, we got to get through these questions. All right, ready? Vicky asks, how do you wrap presents? Bags or hand wrapped? Both.
I feel like it depends on the present.
It's both
right?
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
More.
You don't get no explanation. You get you're in and out. All right.
Yeah.
Is anyone planning a placeholder trip with a vaccine around the corner? Blah 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 blah. All right. No, because I think my next trip is going to be next Thanksgiving, and again, I always feel like there's always somewhere to stay. I don't know. I know that's not really true, but I feel like there's always somewhere to stay, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going to do 2 of these in one shot, and then you guys can go 2 for 2. All right. So we got DVC contract and our first contract, blah, 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 blah. You mentioned on the show. Thank you. Okay. Where would you view as your perfect first trip, such as length of stay, location, resort only, club level? I don't think club level, because it sets expectations. I think home resort, 7 days. I think that's I think you almost do your home resort as kind of I don't know. That would be what I would say. Perfect trip is home resort. I don't think we did, but I think, or maybe we did. We might have, but that's what I think is the perfect trip. 7 days. All right, go ahead.
Trevor, you want to go? You want me to go?
Sure. I'll go next. So, to answer Scott's question, so I've actually planned a trip for next October. I'm in the same position as you, Scott, that, living in Canada, we can travel by air. We just have to quarantine when we come back. So to your point, Scott, the border is not closed for air travel, but, I'm planning from a place of I'm assuming I'm going to take the trip unless something changes, but, being that I'm booked in October, it's far enough out that, we'll wait and see how things go into the spring and the summer. And then I'll make a hard decision on whether or not I'm taking that trip or not. For Chrissy, congratulations on your first DVC members contract. I would agree with Damon that, our first trip was to our home resort, and honestly, that's where we stay because we like our home resort. But yeah, that's a good, perfect trip is, try out your home resort, get a feel for it. Don't set yourself any crazy expectations for getting a particular view or anything. Just try the resort.
Yeah, so I'll do mine here too. So I also did book a placeholder trip. I just literally just booked it just to have it on the calendar because I just like to have a trip on the calendar. So I had booked one for June just based on my very early June, like the week after my wife gets out of school, because that's typically when we have to go and we don't know what her schedule is going to look like in 2021. So I booked that there. I mean, with the intention that, if I have to cancel it, I'll cancel it. But so I do have a placeholder trip out there right now that, may or may not be canceled. We'll see. And then I kind of agree with both of you guys. I feel like after you buy, you got to stay at your home resort because the excitement of buying at that home resort, you picked out which one you wanted or you bought whatever was available. And then, you got to stay at that resort if you want to. I mean, you really stay wherever if you want to, but there's a reason why you bought at that resort and, might as well stay there your first visit and, take a nice week there or, stay a couple days there and then stay somewhere else. Do a split stay, you could do either way. All right, let's do our ad.
Yeah, we're a little late on the ad,
but that's okay.
This week we have DVC Resale Market. DVC Resale Market is the leader in DVC resale industry with 11 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 2 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days and nearly 3,000 contracts sold in 2019 alone. Go to dvcresalemarket.com or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. That's 382-7767. Please let them know the Welcome Home sent you. They love hearing that you guys found them through us. And again, that's dvcresalemarket.com or 1-844-DVC-PROS.
All right. So not Trevor. Well, Trevor too, but Damon, I put this topic on here specifically for you. That DuckTales has reportedly been canceled at Disney XD. And this article also mentions affecting the World Showcase adventure game that was supposedly coming out. But we'll talk about that after we talk about the cancellation.
Well, it's not a cancellation, it's a conclusion.
It just ended.
It's going to be. Well, it hasn't ended yet. It's going to be ending.
It has a finite ending. It's not going to run for ever.
And I'm going to tell you that I think that the series that I have enjoyed the most from Disney have been series that have a set beginning and end. So I'm not upset about that. And plus, I wasn't a huge reboot fan anyway. Like, it was okay. Like, DuckTales is good, and I like it a lot more than I like some other shows. But in terms of Disney animation, I mean, it falls behind, some of the shows I like. So I think getting an ending was great, but I think the problem that DuckTales had was there were just too many characters for me, and the story never seemed to really come together. So there was never like this overarching story that felt world, changing. But at the same time, I mean, maybe you could say with Fowl coming up, but at the same time, there were so many characters. Like, we had this whole season of Della on the moon and this moon invasion, which was just terrible. Like, I don't know. I'm not sad to see it end. I'm disappointed because, again, it was a Disney show at the end of the day, and I do love those cartoons, but it ending is fine. It's fine. I think a lot of this also has, I guess it was kind of expensive to make. I mean, there's a lot of talent on that, from the voice acting standpoint. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's always a lot of people that, need to get paid. So I'm okay with it. And do I think that it's going to affect the Epcot stuff? I kind of thought about that a little bit. I think they'll still go with it. I mean, we had Kim Possible for a while. I also think that this DuckTales ending is to set up Darkwing Duck. Like, one of the things, again, if you're a huge fan, is that you come to realize that, is it the Duckiverse? I forget what the official is. It Duckverse or Duckiverse? I don't remember. Whichever one the official term is. The original Darkwing and DuckTales are in two separate universes, right? So they're separated. So that's why Launchpad can be in both of them without a problem. That DuckTales kind of opened that up with the way that they handled Darkwing, that they are the same universe per se, even though the villains from Darkwing come from a other universe, but they can't split they can't split Launchpad between both of them. And I felt like this is going to be an easy way for them to work Launchpad into the Disney Plus Darkwing Duck reboot, since they are in the same universe. And that means that they probably had this in their mind for a while. Like, it's not surprising to me. And I think they kind of planned it that way, is my thought. But that's all conjecture, because I don't know.
It does make sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry, Trevor.
Sorry, I was just going to say on the whole thing about the Epcot adventure. So, after they canceled Phineas and Ferb, it's been the Phineas and Ferb, or the Agent P stuff for a long time. So, whether or not the series is still running on TV or not, doesn't really have a lot of bearing on what they're doing in the parks.
Not only that, but you have Donald and Della and Scrooge, who are icons even outside of DuckTales.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's familiar enough that, it's not like people, like, honestly, the Phineas and Ferb stuff, when when you see it in Epcot, my parents, I pointed something out to them because we actually saw a little thing of Doofenshmirtz in the Mexico Pavilion, and they were like, "What are you?"
My daughter doesn't even watch it. Yeah, she doesn't even like that show. So,
and again, so Phineas and Ferb did fine, and that's even a less known IP than DuckTales, right? So,
yep,
yeah.
I don't think this affects anything at all. I mean, I think I think this is going to be more affected by budget cuts than it could be from the show be ending.
I would agree. Now, that's not to say that I wouldn't love something else there instead of DuckTales. But again, the only things I would say would be Gravity Falls, which is already done, or Amphibia, which will finish in season 3. So it's the same thing. I think, who, like, some of your favorite cartoons, do I remember, like, so I have to put out my favorite cartoons. You got G.I. Joe, Transformers, and then like the original Disney Afternoon, right? So let's just kind of leave it at those. Did any of them really end? No, they just were just canceled. Like, it was just done. They were over.
Yeah.
They're just over one day.
Yeah. I don't remember Gummy Bears ever having like a final show.
That's disappointing. The problem, this is tough because Gummy Bears is so brutal to me because it just started getting good when they found the other gummies, and you're like, oh man, there's other gummies out there, and then it's over and you're like, are you kidding me? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, they just found other gummies and then it's canceled. Like, I think that was the problem, but the rest of them I don't even remember how they ended. So I think having these conclusions is far better in terms of wrapping up a story. Because again, those were cartoons where, the story was that episode. And that's not really the case anymore. Like, we would always be like, oh, part 1 of 2. Like, oh man, like that was such a big deal. Now it's like, okay, well, the story goes from season 1 to 3. Like, that's a lot of episodes. So it's a different time. And I think that, it's good. And I think people will, rewatch DuckTales. They'll sit down now and binge DuckTales 2017 and it will be a whole story.
Yeah, and, for the same reason that I rewatch Gravity Falls is that, once you have the ending there and you kind of have everything wrapped up, going back and watching it from the beginning, you get a different perspective on it.
And it's funny because I don't think so when I watch a show, I don't think I ever watch it back from the beginning to end. Like, I just catch episodes here and there. Like, we just went back and watched a very good episode of Amphibia just out of the blue, right? Like, so I think that's what happens to me. Like, I don't think I sat down and watched Gravity Falls again. I've seen every episode 8 million times though, but just, I'm like, oh, remember that episode? Like, let's go watch that one. Like, oh, remember that episode? Let's go watch that one. I mean, the unicorn episode I still feel like is my absolute favorite one of all time, but
Granda summoning the Eldritch gods. Yeah.
That's a good one.
All right then. Yeah, I haven't been super into the new DuckTales, but I did watch probably a season of it. And it's not because I haven't wanted to watch more. I just haven't gotten around to it. So I guess this is, like you said, it's kind of nice sometimes where it's just that contained, like, here's 3 seasons, we know it's going to end, and we can wrap it up in a nice way, kind of like Gravity Falls did, and it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I will say this though, just a quick aside: Disney Plus. Like, you've been talking about Amphibia, Damon.
Yeah.
We still don't have the next season here. Like, I'm so mad that they're doing this stupid, like, Canada can't have the same stuff that's being released in the States.
And you've seen season 1, and if you've enjoyed that, the problem is that season 2 kicks the butt of season 1. Like, it's so awesome.
And that's the things I've been waiting for it. And, they're releasing everything else except these shows, and I don't understand why. So
that's terrible.
That's more, maybe somebody at Disney listens to our podcast. Come on, guys. I need more Disney XD shows.
Make it happen.
That's the poor clown.
We're gonna talk more clown.
The clown that needed to die.
That needed to go away.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask.
No, he didn't need to go away. It's gonna be I don't know. We've already talked about this to death though.
We have, but it's now been confirmed by Disney that the clown's not coming back, that it's gonna be Mickey and Friends. So That's the only news here. Basically, is that it's gonna. There was a statement from Disney saying it's going to be Mickey and Friends around the pool. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like. It could be done.
Maybe Mickey will be dressed up as Pennywise, and then that would be great.
So make it scarier than it was before.
It's scarier than it was before, and then put a little gutter in the side of the pool with a red balloon
coming out.
Yeah, that would be the best.
You have to crawl into it to get to
the slide. Yeah.
To the slide.
Oh, that's amazing. I think if someone from Disney's listening, they need to scrap their plans right now and redo it that way.
But this does kind of circle back on a conversation we had about, you know, if they're just putting Mickey there, what are they doing to define it as the
He's going to be in
pool?
beach gear. There's going to be a beach ball. That's exactly what it's going to be. I'm calling it right now. It's Disney, Minnie, Donald, maybe Daisy, beach gear, which why he has on, you know, why Donald is going to have on a full bodysuit, we don't know, but beach gear and a beach ball. And that's it. That's what I'm calling right now.
I feel like though, like if it were that simple, it wouldn't have taken them like 3 months to do that. Like, cause that just seems like they could like screw that in a day. You know what I mean?
Let's see what we get.
That doesn't seem like that would take a lot of time, but I am interested to see what we get. I don't know what route they're going with this. So,
oh my goodness, Tom, you have food on this list?
of course they have food on this.
Oh my goodness. So what is this next thing?
Remember you guys gave me a hard time last time because we didn't do all the countries.
Okay, so what's this next thing? The full animated Figment?
Yeah. Would you want a full length animated Figment?
No.
You don't want a movie? A Figment movie?
No, because it's going to be disappointing. It can't live up to what Figment truly is.
And what he stands for?
Yes.
All right.
Figment is and then I'm not even joking. I feel like a full-length animated movie, unless Pixar is doing it, I'm not on board. And even the newer Pixar stuff, I don't think I'm on board. Like, Figment animated movie has to be, like, poignant. It's got to be, like, killer. And I just don't think they have that in them.
I don't know what the story would be there. I just I don't know like what story you would do with Figment. I don't know.
I mean, this is the thing is, you know, you could circle back on the whole Dreamfinder and Figment thing, but I feel, you know, kind of like what you're saying, Damon, is that, you know, a full length feature of Figment. Don't get me wrong. I love Figment. I think it's a great character, but I feel it's the kind of thing that if they misinterpret what they're trying to do with Figment, and you get an hour of just him being annoying and like all over the place,
it would be hurtful.
Yeah, it would very quickly.
It might make me take Figment out of the box.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Your Figment Funko Pop.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they released this movie and it was bad, you would just see a picture on the Facebook page of just the Funko
melted
sitting on a desk.
Oh no, burning. Figment. Yeah, I think this is one of those things where there's money to be made, which is the problem, but I don't think that you're getting, like, kids aren't full on Figment fans, honestly. I think it's more adults, and I think that your target audience, you don't have this built-in target audience for Figment that you would think you would have with either a new character or, I don't know, but the problem is the Figment toys could definitely be killer, because I think that there'd be a lot of cool ones. And what if it was like a Figment like STEM collaboration?
You mean like STEM school type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be. I mean, there's some cool stuff
That'd
they
be
could do with it,
interesting.
like educational wise. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I think the thing is that if they just pander to, like you said, you know, making it, you know, hey, he's an imaginary dragon, you know, he's for kids. No, I think Figment needs to, like, kind of the same way that Gravity Falls appealed to both, like, it was a smart show, and it had like, it has to have multiple levels to it. And if it doesn't, like you said, you know,
what about if it's a series instead, or a game show? Like, put Figment on a game show, and then I think that's like this perfect venue for him, because he could be funny. You don't see a lot of him. Give me a Disney Plus game show, Figment.
You mean like a live puppet, like an actual puppet of? Yeah.
No. An overlay.
Animated, yeah.
An overlay. But a game show. That, or even like you could do screens if you really had to. That's where Figment would shine. Just coming in, some quips, some fight, like the Steve Harvey of Disney animation. That's what I'm talking about.
You just had me imagining like a turtle talk with Crush, but with Figment instead. Like it's an attraction at the parks.
Yeah, I just think if you put him in Steve Harvey's mold for a game show, but Figment's funny, and that's where I'd see him shine. All right, we got to get on the food.
Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk about some food. I got a lot of food on here,
and you did it this terrible way. Now I have to I
did it in a better way
me
this
to
time.
slow down. That's
I
the
put
problem.
descriptions in here this time.
He forced me to slow down. I can't
Now,
just burn through it.
The beginning ones on the list are one-offs, and then after that are booths at the
Christmas cupcake at Wilderness Lodge.
That looks
spice cupcake with raspberry filling and vanilla buttercream, and it looks like a Christmas tree.
No.
boring.
Kind of boring.
Sorry, it is.
I'm not loving it.
No, but what's the second one? The second one you don't have a link to. Spice cupcake. Oh, it's the.
What are you talking about? It's right there.
Warm brown sugar
Wait.
stuffed pretzel.
Wait, let me make sure I understand your very ridiculous outline number scheme here. Should that have been indented? Is the link above it the same as the one below it?
What are you talking about?
Wait, is the spice cupcake with a raspberry filling the Christmas cupcake?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an indent there, my friend.
No, listen.
That's an A. That's not a 2.
No.
That's an A.
No.
Oh, 100% is.
It's
oh my goodness!
It's under the Christmas cupcake at Wilderness Lodge, and it's describing the cupcake.
Thing. Yes, describing the thing above it. That means it's an indent.
No,
that's
it's
an A.
describing
nope,
the letter A.
Absolutely not. It is not. That's
describing
an A.
letter A.
I'm fixing it right now.
What are you talking about?
That is not 2. That's not how outlines work, my friend.
Listen. I'm not writing an outline for English class, okay? This is like
Tom, when you post the pictures for this episode, can you just include this as a snippet so that people know what we're talking about?
I think I'm right. I
you
can't post it
definitely
now
are
because
not
Damon
right.
ruined it. So
I'll leave the other ones incorrect. But
if only you could go back and edit it whenever you want.
No, look, this is a second bullet point that's describing the overall heading.
No, it's the same thing. You can't have the bullet points be the exact same thing.
Well, no,
it's a
just the
description
name
of the
like
thing.
if there were
above
like
it.
a name for it, then yeah. But I'm giving details.
So when you write an outline, right, and you have chapter 1, and then underneath that,
Again, there's not that kind of thought
thing.
put into this. This is just.
I'm just saying. I had to correct it, everybody. I made sure that.
If I were submitting,
I
this
may
for
say
English
picture
class, then
instead
yes.
of picture, but darn it, I'm going to fix this
Oh
outline.
my gosh!
All right, hold on. This next one is. I don't know if I like this next one or not.
I'm into this. I'm into this.
Warm brown sugar stuffed pretzel
With ice cream.
With ice cream.
All right, so yes, with ice cream. So I like ice cream with my pretzel. There's no doubt about that. But I think the problem that we have here is it doesn't look like there's any salt on this pretzel.
No, because it's
And-
sweet
and
sugar.
that's-
on sugar, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the downside here. Sorry.
Yeah, if
Too
it
sweet
was
for
a
you?
salted pretzel, yeah.
Salted pretzel would do it.
Yeah.
And it could even have been a warm brown sugar stuffed pretzel, but it has to have salt. That's right. Haven't you ever seen the baking shows, right? When they leave out the salt in the cupcake and they're like,
And they lose.
Taste there's no
bon
salt.
filet.
yeah, exactly. you need this layering of flavors, and without the salt, it's too much.
I would try this though. I would try.
I mean, I would try it. I'd be disappointed though.
So
right.
I want to say this too, is, I appreciate that, they're doing the thing with ice cream. I wish that these kinds of things, they would offer a non-dairy version. And again, just coming from somebody that I can't do dairy and I want to try these things. I wish that, they could do like because you can get good non-dairy ice cream now.
But here's the question, Trevor. So could you do just a bite or not even?
I could do a bite, but
It's tough because then you start having other stuff and you have to limit your lactose at some point.
yeah. The problem is it is a very slippery slope, and it's the kind of thing where
It surely is, my friend.
Sometimes like some things some dairy I can have and it doesn't hardly affect me. Other things I can have, and my wife can vouch for this, where it's like for like an entire evening, I just can't get off the couch because my stomach hurts so bad.
Yeah.
So it's too dangerous. Like I don't even want to do any of it because I don't.
Well, and
want to
I
take
think
a chance,
that
right?
if you were going to do something, I'd look at the next things, which are these cupcakes. What are these? The Santa Mickey cupcake and Oreo bonbons. Now, interestingly enough, I would say that these Oreo bonbons look very awesome.
Yeah, the cupcake doesn't look like
And
much to me. Not only
and
that,
they're
red
mousse.
icing just seems like my face would be stained all day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and then it just looks. It's got nothing in the middle. Like it's just kind of boring.
Yeah.
The bonbons look amazing,
Yeah.
though.
The bonbons are where it's at for sure.
Yeah, they're Oreo bonbons with an Oreo mousse and covered it with like a shell. They look amazing.
Yeah, they do.
Where can you get these at? I don't even see where these are at. I don't know where. Probably should know this.
We're what?
Oh, it's
We're
a yacht club. Yacht and Beach.
Okay, what's next? Sweet potato casserole at funnel cake. I'd try that.
I'm not a big sweet potato fan, so I think I'm out on this. But it has marshmallow topping, cinnamon sugar, honey roasted pecans, and caramel drizzle.
Caramel or caramel?
So there's. I was just gonna say, is it caramel or caramel?
I think that one is officially both ways, though.
Yeah,
I think you could do both ways on that, and pecan and pecan. I mean, you can go both ways with that. So, yeah, I don't know, but
I would definitely try this though.
I'm not a sweet potato fan. I'm out on this one.
Yeah. Do you think that you could actually make a light enough funnel cake with sweet potato? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I've never. I thought it would be a little too heavy, but okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of a actual funnel cake made out of sweet potato. That's a new one. But I don't know. That's interesting. Don't get me wrong. My wife would be all about this. She would love this.
So the Shanghai Holiday Kitchen is a little disappointing to me. But see, this is how you actually correctly label an outline. But that being said, red stewed beef rice bowl.
I don't
do beef.
I think the picture looks good.
I don't do beef, and then the curry chicken rice bowl. I don't do curry. Then house-made crab and cheese wontons. Don't do crab. Panda bubble tea.
You don't do curry?
No, I hate curry. Ugh.
Oh, I love Japanese curry is the best. I know this isn't Japanese, this isn't China, but I think that would be really good.
I don't do any of that. All right, so the citrus blossom though, orange cream is like my jam. Orange cream shake in a souvenir orange bird sipper cup. I'm down for that.
Yeah, the classic orange bird figure in a cup, a souvenir cup, and I mean, listen, I'm with you too. Orange cream is where it's at.
All right, and there's a lot of alcohol, which we're just going to skip over. Tuscany Holiday Kitchen. So this one's interesting. The flatbread was good when we tried it last time I was there, but this 4 cheese mini beggars purses. Man, that looks good. I'd skip out on the mushroom one, but the pancetta.
Dumb question. What's a beggar's purse? I've never had, or maybe I've had it and I don't know what it is.
Aren't they like ravioli kind of, sort of?
Yeah, I've never heard that term before, but that's what I think they are, right?
I believe so.
All right. Again, I've never heard of that term, so I figured maybe it was something different, but okay.
I think they're just like a filled pasta.
Yeah, so I'm looking now. So yes, they're just a filled pasta, which I'd be down with. So they're not like crimped off ends, I don't believe.
Yeah.
How about that cannoli?
I don't love cannolis as crazy as that sounds.
Really?
I don't like
for a cannoli.
I don't like cheese and sweet.
Yeah,
I don't like cheesecake either.
Again, I have the same problem, is that I want to love it, but
me too.
It doesn't love me. So. Yeah,
I love a good cannoli. I like any kind of cannoli, and I'll also go with a nice sangria here too. Even though I'm not a big drinker, I'm a big fan of a sangria that they have.
All right, so
and limoncello and tequila sounds pretty good too.
Okay, so I'm not Hebrew. I can't pronounce Hebrew, so I'll just the Hebrew holiday kitchen, the Chaim holiday kitchen. So the potato.
My wife is Jewish, so this is the
super
word
awesome.
said in my house. So
they're super awesome. We had them last year, and the mini jelly filled donuts are awesome. They were also there last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got pastrami on rye.
Well, it's not last year anymore. It's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
smoked salmon, potato latkes.
Yeah.
And just potato latkes by themselves, and then
I
don't know how to
say
the mini filled donut one.
So
yeah, I'll leave that alone.
Sufganiyat.
Yeah.
I actually asked my wife about this, and she was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." She's like, "I've never heard that term before," so I don't know. But she's like, "I know donuts are a thing." It's just she's like, I've never heard that word before."
Do I dare do a Google pronunciation on this?
You could. Do you like a black and white cookie? Because I'm a big fan of a good black and white cookie, though.
No, they're too sugary for me, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I make chocolate chip cookies, the big thing is I like to leave out chips and fill with walnuts, because I don't love my sweet super sweet. They're not as complex.
Do you do pastrami on rye? Or
I don't do beef.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but I wasn't sure if you made certain exceptions for certain things.
No, I make no exceptions.
I don't typically eat beef, but I'll have a meatball here and there.
We do chicken and pork meatballs.
Okay, that works too. Yeah.
So
did you figure it out, Trevor?
Supposedly it's Sufganyat.
Oh, so I was close.
Yeah.
I pretty much said it right. Okay.
Unless the pronunciation I got is totally wrong, in which case I apologize for anyone that knows the right way to pronounce that.
It's just funny because I asked my wife this and she just had no idea, but she was all about, maybe having a potato latke. I mean,
I would definitely do that. Those.
Yep.
Wait, so I'm gonna before we let Trevor.
This is an episode of how we say things.
How we say things.
People call me Kevin, so you're doing better.
I want to make sure that I get Dan's part in there and just let him know that the BoomTron podcast is doing Christmas shows, because I know if I didn't mention it at least once an episode, I know he gets very upset with me. So make my December very fruitful and come listen to BoomTron podcast. There's actually a new cartoon. It's like Angela's Christmas something. I don't know. I just watched it yesterday. It was okay. But there's a lot of Christmas stuff that are Netflix originals. So if you're looking for something for your kids to watch or for yourself to watch, listen up.
Since you're coming into Christmas time, this is the best time to, listen to a podcast like BoomTron and maybe find some shows that you can
might not have seen. Yeah. Thank you, Trevor.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Can we call him Trevor from now on? Because
if you want, I'm whatever floats your boat.
That's amazing. All right, wrap us up. Let's wrap this thing up today.
All right. So as usual, if you guys have questions, comments for us, you just want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love getting emails from you guys and just generally interacting with you guys. If you got questions, if you've taken a trip recently and you want to let us know how that went, we do get some of that stuff via email. So please send it our way. If you want to get a hold of us on Facebook, you can find us there as Welcome Home Podcast. There is also the Facebook group. If you're not in it, why aren't you in it? It's called Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. Make sure you come join the group and see some of the
thought about,
discussion.
and it's funny, I thought about changing it back to what Tom originally thought, but then I just couldn't bring myself to do it. See, the question is that what would bring more people?
That's why I had it that way originally, as I thought it would bring in more people.
What was it again originally?
I don't remember now.
Welcome Home Disney members or Disney group.
Welcome Home DVC members. That was it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And again, the DVC members part was the tough part because it was limiting. I think it had to be like, I don't know.
Yeah, because we have listeners to the show that are not members. We have ones that are prospective members that are that have been members forever. So like we do want to appeal to everybody. So you're right in making it more generic, but
yeah.
And so come join us on the wait list if you haven't already. We would love to have more of you guys in there, and we also have a YouTube channel, which is also Welcome Home Podcast. Anytime we do live shows or streams or anything like that, you'll see those pop up on there.
Which you can go on right now and watch Trevor do an unboxing of his Magic Band scanner he got.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, I should have brought this up. So obviously Scott did a great job on the Magic Band scanner, and it's now turned into a game in our house that every day we will all take turns scanning it to see who gets the Welcome Home purple Magic Band, and whoever gets that scan wins for the day. So
wait, so it only does it sometimes?
Yeah, it's entirely random. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So go to YouTube, go to our YouTube channel if you want to watch that unboxing. It's on there.
Yeah, exactly. Also, if you guys have Instagram, you can find us as Welcome Home Pics. Damon is always posting stuff on our Instagram there, so if you want to follow us there, please do so. And we also have a store. If you want some masks that say Welcome Home Podcast, if you want a mug, t-shirt, stuff like that, make sure you go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out our merchandise. And as usual, if you found us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, any of those services, please leave us a review. We love seeing the feedback from those reviews, and it also helps the podcast.
We love seeing all of them, though.
we love them all for different reasons, even when they're critical, we appreciate the feedback, or at least.
So I was trying to go and look to see when our last one was. I haven't actually looked in a long time.
Probably don't want to look at the last one.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. I love them when they're bad.
Exactly.
You love when they're bad?
Yeah.
Wait, what's the last one is good?
Yeah.
No, the last one says get rid of Damon.
No, there's a one after that. Oh, that's
okay.
the December one. No, you're right.
Okay. Yeah.
Get rid of Damon. I destroys will be an enjoyable show. Nice.
See, we love hearing your feedback. So
Yeah, we love it.
Wait, is this from the same person though that may be in the group? I'm glad that I can it seems like I'm a world destroyer. Like I can single-handedly destroy the whole show. Oh, this is awesome.
You're making Damon feel powerful.
Yeah.
It really is. Like they don't realize that what is this person's name? Al.
Don't call them out of the show.
I can call them out in this show. They put their name out there.
That's true. That's fair.
He is rewarded for doing this work, but what pen am I picking up to start doing? What work am I not doing?
I don't know.
Am I not doing work?
No.
I mean, I pretty much run the Facebook group and Instagram. I mean, how is that not enough? That's not enough?
I actually don't know what review you're talking about now because
oh my goodness,
we may have to take this offline.
There's a decent show somewhere in there, but it likely does not involve me, who adds no value. Nice.
All right.
Oh, maybe it says you guys should go and find a third partner. Maybe you guys can partner up with somebody who actually will participate in the show. Oh, nice. I sit silently in the. I sit. Sitting in his corner silently? I sit in the corner silently?
Didn't we have a review
goodness.
one time that said it was like a 2-star review and it said 5 stars if you get rid of Damon? And we were like, oh, we'll get rid of Damon now. We got to get 5 stars from that guy.
No.
Wait, so I like this one. There's another bad one about me too. You need to replace Damon. How can one understand what a new roller coaster will be when it's a year away? There's a freaking POV of it. Are you kidding me?
Well, there's not a POV of the whole thing. There was
it doesn't matter. There's a POV of the test. This guy
but I don't think
zero
it's like the
interest in
track,
Disney.
Okay. Track.
And I don't.
But anyway, we got to wrap up.
We're getting down a rabbit hole here, and let me just say this: is for people leaving those kinds of reviews. I'm going to say this. We absolutely appreciate the fact that we don't all have the same point of view on things, and we all respect each other on this show. So that's why I think it works, and that's why all three of us are still here. So
yeah, and it sometimes doesn't sound great, right? It sometimes doesn't sound like it, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I guess outside of it, it doesn't always make sense. But I guess keep that in mind yourself when you're listening. Is that we all value each other's takes on these things, and obviously if we're not laughing, then
wait, I can't stop myself from this 5-star review though. I'm a self-proclaimed foodie, but I don't eat beef, seafood, mushrooms, lamb, spicy things, really sweet things, ethnic food like curry. So even they knew I didn't eat curry. So it's hard to be a foodie and give good dining advice when it appears the only thing you eat is chicken. I don't know what world they live in where there's just beef, chicken, and seafood, but okay.
All right,
where were we?
We're way down.
That's a 5-star review. I like that though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But do leave us reviews, please.
Again, obviously, we are reading your reviews, and
yes,
we do value,
and they're funny to me. I mean, I don't value that feedback, but it's funny to me at least. Well, but I do love how I can single-handedly do anything. Nice. I feel like I should have a trident. Like that gives me like this very like King Triton sort of feeling.
Unlimited
like
power.
Throwing lightning bolts down to destroying shows. Hey, by the way, our numbers are up though, everybody. So
yeah, that's good.
All right, are we ready to finish this?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh wait, okay, so it's my turn. Okay, because you finished with the reviews part. Okay, don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Tuner, Stitcher, Spotify, just about any place you can find podcasts. You can find us. Just a reminder to our listeners: Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company. As such, any and all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult a DVC representative or Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Big thank you to DVC Resale Market for sponsoring this episode and their continued support. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.